Welcome back to The Trade. I'm Gina Beck.
This is Drew Williams.
Hey, for listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate y'all, especially the reviews on Apple Podcasts. It really means a lot.
Yeah, and like always, thank you again for the continued support, the continued engagement, and the hashtag Banana Cats.
How are you, Drew?
I'm alright, G. How are you?
I'm doing well. I went to LA for the Whiskey Go-Go show with Six Gun. Now we're back. They have a few more shows ending the year off with just I think one more show. And LA was dope. I had a lot of fun filming everything and getting behind the scenes. And
yeah, that place is crazy historic.
Yeah, getting to see everything inside and having access to the green room was really cool. Where all those guys, rock stars.
So many legends pass through.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good time. And I got to bring my drone and ask the Whiskey Go-Go manager if I could get a drone shot, and she let me.
I was wondering how you got that drone shot.
Yeah, as long as we don't use any of the footage to sell, I was able to do it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then they just want a little recording fee. So I paid the recording fee and promised I wouldn't use any of it to sell.
It's LA. Everything costs money.
Yeah. Yeah, right. At least I didn't need a permit or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have a few things we want to talk about besides the whole LA thing. Our last episode. How do you guys feel about it? Would you guys like these Decoy talks? You guys want more? Because if you guys want more, I gotta start talking to some more guys because we're out of, old stuff. So let us know, because if you guys want more, we'll definitely make it a priority to make more Decoy talks. At least make them public, not just.
Yeah, I think when I ask people, they seem divided. Some people really like them. Other people, it makes them very uncomfortable, which I completely understand.
Or do you want shorter versions of it? Can you guys only handle so much? Because I know we already put out short versions of things, but maybe even shorter. 5. Can you guys only handle 5 minutes? Or do you guys like the whole thing? Do you guys not like the 2 parts? Do you guys just want to hear the whole thing at once? Because we've tried a few different things, and it's what we got to do to see what you guys like. And we want to be able to give you guys what you want.
And I think people are hesitant on YouTube to give the thumbs up because of the subject matter, but no, you're giving thumbs up to Gina's work, not weirdo on the other line. I don't know.
Or dislike if you want to dislike it because you're mad at the dude. Go
fair
for it.
engagement. But thank you guys for listening, the ones that have. And if we've turned you guys away because it's a little deep into the entire subject, maybe we'll just try and start mixing it more often and not just have so many in a row.
You know that song, welcome to our world. It makes me think of that. Welcome to our world, guys. Because that's a consistent thing when you talk to these guys. So when you hear about, there's a hunter and there's their decoys, think about what you guys just listened to on these Decoy talks. That's 24/7. There's not a time where you're not, unless you're sleeping. This guy is always bugging the decoys.
This is a little side note. It reminded me. It has to do with the episode and kind of what we're talking about. There was a question on the last episode. Her name was Heather Ellick, and if I say your last name, I'm sorry. But she said, "Who do you decoy for? Just found your channel." And I figured I'd let you answer that.
Okay, so, a lot of the Decoy talks that are put on the channel are from our archive, which is from when, Hunted and Confronted was thriving and consistent, where we would get at least one to sometimes 5 a day and in between. I mean, the most we ever got was 8 in one day, and I'm pretty sure that was in Indiana. And so we were just grinding them out. And that's what a lot of the Decoy chats that you hear now on this channel are from. And then that's why I just asked if you guys want to hear more, because I'm out. I'm out of what's in the archive. You guys have heard it all now. So if you guys want to hear more, then I got to do more, which if I do, a good friend of ours, Sully, which you guys have heard of him on this podcast. You guys could look up his episode if you want. And he asked Drew and I if we would join Prey on Others.
Yeah.
He's a security guard. He does so much. I can go down a whole list of things that
He's
he
a
does.
fugitive recovery agent. He's a all-around amazing human.
Yeah.
We love Sully.
We can go on. That's just like 3 things. We can go on and on and on about this guy.
He's a man of many talent.
Yeah, he lost his main Instagram. So if you guys recognize him and you guys maybe lost his Instagram, he's got a new Instagram, and we can even link that in the description below since we're talking about him. So make sure you follow his new Instagram and support him, and he's got great content. If you guys want to see people getting arrested in handcuffs, like sometimes crazy shit happens.
His are the
You guys
best.
gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go check out all that. But he wants to get these guys, so he created an Instagram page and he put us in a group. And I've put out some whisper ads in his area, and nothing concrete that I've worth talking to Drew about yet. But that's why I'm here asking you guys. If you guys want to hear more, Drew and I will be sure to record every conversation I have. If not, then why do that? I guess. Right?
There'll be a lot better quality this round too, because
We have the microphones. Yeah,
it wasn't a priority as much before. It was more of just a log for ourselves.
Yeah, and we live streamed a lot of those phone calls mostly, so it was for the viewers and through live streaming. But this go around, definitely not gonna go live with my Decoy chats, and if I do, it'll be on my Instagram probably, unless the Betrayed starts going live. So we're just winging it, figuring it out, and seeing what you guys like to listen to.
Absolutely. Well,
enough of all that, though. You guys remember an episode previously we talked about Instagram and how they're gonna have like a Instagram for kids? Well, we found out, a little update, they decided not to. They decided to pause the work on kids' Instagram, and they explained why. And the explanation is long and ridiculous, and they just got called out by a lot of people. I feel like they got a lot of heat, and so they pulled out, right? Because something that Drew was talking about before we started recording briefly was how he had watched them talking about it, and it was just like, it didn't make sense. You guys know when you watch conferences and something just doesn't make sense, it's like, this isn't the real reason why you backed out, probably, right? And I could sit here and I could read this whole article to you guys, or I could link it below and you guys could check it out for yourselves, but I'll just give my input on it. We know what happened. I backed out. I think the reason why they wanted to create it, let's start with that, is money. I mean, who is the biggest content consumer these days? Children.
Well, and they're the future content consumers too, so they can hook them young.
Right. So, I mean, what does a lot of some of the biggest viewed things caters to children? Number one is a child who does children's content. Like TikTok, the number one is a child who does children's content. So when you give kids this Instagram, it's numbers right away, right? Which equals them money. And so for them, I feel like it was just for money. They didn't think about the kids. So there was like I'm pretty sure we talked about in the last podcast, they should get a lot of heat for it. And there definitely was heat for it. And the only reason why they stopped it was for the heat. It wasn't because it it was really for the kids' safety, or they thought about the kids. No, it's because they got heat for it.
People
And
spoke up, and people, when they speak up without violence, things can change.
mm-hmm, exactly, because you think it wants the whole to be affected. You think they want to go viral for negative reasons? You think they want to be at the top of Twitter? They don't. So they catered to what the audience wants and they pulled out. Not to say that it might come back. We might have another episode because they're releasing it. Who knows? Maybe they're going to try to market it to where it sounds safe. But I'm calling it before I see it and just letting you guys know.
You
I think
know,
it's
I
just
feel
it's a
none of them
money
are
thing.
safe. None of them are safe.
No, nothing at all, but they're going to market it that way, because they said here they're going to pause the work. They're not stopping it all together. They're pausing it. You know why? Because they're going to figure out how to remarket it so that it sounds safe so you guys don't get all mad at them. They're
It's
I hate
sad,
it.
but it is. It's all money, and that's what it breaks down to. But they did halt it, at least for now.
For now. And so if we talk about it in the future coming back, we'll just have to look out for those keywords, those, the safety marketing words that they're going to use, and read in between the lines, because there's just no way to prove a child is a child. There's no child ID. And, like, just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think about it. I don't know. It's just not a good idea. I'm almost speechless when I think about it. It's just a
But the
terrible
main,
idea.
right, and the main thing is, why even give kids more things to do on here? You know?
There's already too many of them on Omegle, which is a
It's
whole
just
nother
all
subject.
money grabs. Yeah, definitely. And it's not even meant for kids. It's meant for adults.
Yeah, there's so many lazy. Well, I shouldn't even say that. There's just a lot of kids that either A, know how to get around their parents' rules, or B, their parents are just completely unaware of what can be on Omegle.
Definitely. We've seen every kind of child on a from watching
Hyphonics, I
Iconics.
love them. Scares children off of it. It's great.
In a lot of funny ways too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Not to switch subjects, but is that what do you wanted to talk about on that as far as that goes?
Yeah, we have the main topic that Drew wants to talk about.
So it might be in the title, it might not. Depends on what happens when we actually upload this. But there is a story that is, I guess you would call it going double viral, because the original incident happened at a school board meeting in late July in Loudoun County, Virginia, which is just west of Washington, D.C. And a father was basically told he was a liar, and he got a little heated, and an officer tried to detain him, and he ripped away, and he ended up getting, knocked to the ground. He didn't leave looking in a great fashion, and he has been demonized basically since summer. And the story is finally breaking what really happened. His daughter was a victim of a very, very terrible assault. And I'm going to say what the crimes are, and they're going to be bleeped out on YouTube, but this is what they are. She, the girl, committed me and forced on another ninth grade girl in the bathroom. This same girl, while on probation on October 6th, committed the exact same acts on another girl. And this has turned into, unfortunately, it's turned into, I feel like it's being used to be a very anti-transgender thing, because to pretend like they don't exist in high school is just denying reality. There's absolutely teens out there, and I'm not going to deny their right to exist or be themselves. But this person is a psychopath, whoever was doing this. And They need to be, I don't know, locked away, put in a mental ward. This is not signs of a human that's going to grow into a good adult at all when you talk about the level of crimes they're doing right now. The student also is, I would describe them more as gender fluid, as they would choose one day to the next which spectrum they're on. From the report that I read that was behind the paywall on the Daily Wire, they had just recently decided that they were going to start using the girls' bathroom. I don't know how true that is. That's, hearsay from an interview. I can't confirm that, but that was on Daily Wire's interview. I don't know what to really say about any of it other than it's horrific. It's really scary that the school was going to try and handle it internally without getting the sheriffs involved. And I think it's a reflection of just how, once again, we always talk about just how sick of a society we have right now.
And it can literally be anyone. We always say this. It's not just narrowed down to old men or middle aged men or young men. It's women. It's literally like it can be anyone. It can be your grandma. It can be an aunt. We've heard stories with literally grandma and aunts involved. And you would never think that a grandmother and aunt would do something like that. And it was within the same situation.
And I know I'm sure plenty of our listeners are true crime people. There's so many incidents of weird stuff like that happening with people you would
Mm-hmm.
never. That usually the ones that get away with it the longest are the ones that are right underneath everybody's nose. And I'm not gonna disparage this transgender girl. I'll call her her, but I think her actions are scary
Well,
signs of a very, very, very bad adult coming, and I don't see anything stopping. I don't see any amount of therapy changing this. This is a broken human. I don't know what you do with him.
from what I gather, there are people focusing on the fact that she's a transgender, right?
Yeah,
That's like the main. That's the main focus. Very clickbaity
hyper
thing,
focus.
probably. Yeah, very keywords like. So it's good for clicks, da, 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 in a negative way, of course. But that should not be the focus at all. And everyone that's focusing on that aspect, throw it out the window. Because, like I just said, it could be grandma, it could be aunt, it could be sister, it could be
Well, this girl,
anyone.
this girl does not represent even a percentage of people that identify as any of those spectrum type of things. This person's just a very bad person and happens to be those things.
Right, I'm just getting at that it literally can be anyone, and um, people shouldn't just focus on that she's a transgender because who cares? Who
Exactly.
cares about that? Like your grandpa is an old man, and he's creep. We've caught plenty of grandpas. And do we focus on the fact that he's a creepy old man, or do we focus on the fact that he likes kids and wants to hurt them? Like,
Or even our last episode, the guy was a construction worker. Does that really completely matter? I mean, we use it in titles because we want you guys to realize that it can be anyone. But does it really matter that that guy's a construction worker?
yeah. But say this transgender, right, is a daycare owner. Okay, then that is a big deal. Not the fact that they're transgender, but the fact that they're a whole daycare owner.
Yeah.
That's a big deal because that job revolves around children, right? So just take the transgender part out of the equation and focus, because I'm pretty sure when you and I were talking about this beforehand, I heard that that was like a really big deal to some of the people that were talking about it. So I
If you
don't think it should be.
if you read the Daily Wire that has the interview with the father, I mean, because of their like stout religious reviews from the Daily
Mhm.
Wire, they refer to her as a boy the entire time, and I just find it makes the story like extra confusing. You know what I mean? Because they're like pointing out that they are that, but then they call it like to me, it just seems each side is hyper focusing on it when it should be the victim and the crime. Those are the two things that matter. That's nothing else really matters.
Yeah. I don't care who you are, we're all human beings. But if you hurt children, you're a messed up human being. You deserve what you deserve. As
Yep.
PG as I could say that, right? So I think we're ending it on that note. If this episode's a little long, I apologize. If you've listened this far and you're enjoying yourself, leave a like, leave a comment, let us know. And until next time, Banana Cats.
Banana Cats. Much love. Peace.